Ahead of America's 250th anniversary, local organizations are honoring the unsung heroes of history. When you think of serving our country, you often remember the soldiers. But tonight, our Madeline Korzanuski sheds light on the women and nurses who cared for our troops during war.
They had very little nursing experience.
More than half a century ago, many young women fresh out of nursing school found themselves on the battlefield.
We would work not 12 hours, 24 hours, sometimes 36 hours a day.
And they saved so many lives.
More than 7,000 Army nurses served in Vietnam, treating wounded soldiers day after day.
And they comforted so many veterans who didn't make it back.
When medicine couldn't save them.
I wrote, "Be brave." No, I didn't. I wrote, "You fight."
But she was there as his mother, as his wife, as his sister, when nobody was with them.
Yet when the war ended, nurses' stories rarely took center stage.
I graduated from high school in 1971 during still Vietnam years, and I didn't know any of this. I didn't know the women that sacrificed and did service.
That's until Christine Hanna's best-selling novel, The Woman, paved the way.
It's almost magical when we put it on. Our demeanor changes. We feel so proud and so honored to be representing the nurses that served.
Saturday's Heritage of Healing program brought those stories to life as the Army Nurse Corps marks its 250th anniversary.
We hope that they remember that there are still Vietnam nurses and Vietnam veterans in our community, and that they still need our support, and their story is still very much important and a fabric of our community.
Shining a spotlight on the nurses who are often overlooked.
We don't just nurse inside of hospitals, we nurse in the streets, in clinics, in war, and we have been there and we are still there today.
In Rockford, I'm Madeline Korzanuski.
The program was hosted by the Stateline Nurses Network, a professional nursing organization that serves the Stateline region and awards annual scholarships to local nursing students.